What's your reaction to what you just heard from these Astros?
My first reaction that it's incomplete. Certainly when you're watching that, you hear what happened, and people want to know, well, what did happen? The specificity was omitted, and I'm sure that's by design. We have to recognize that behind the scenes, there's a pitcher named Mike Bolsinger who is suing the Astros, their LLC, certainly trying to see if that will end up in court or trial. So that brings another element of how much they can actually reveal, because it may well be used against them. So you also have the legal cloud, and then you have, of course, this court of public opinion. But they don't seem to be in the position or certainly willing to divulge more about how this actually went down. I'm sure there'll be more questions to come. But that leaves an incompleteness, and it begs to question how much they're going to reveal and how much we're going to be able to glean from them, which is why investigations continue to dig in and find more information as we continue forward.
Yeah, Doug, you bring up a great point about the lawsuit and how that could potentially limit their ability to speak. I want to ask you specifically about what you heard from the players, from Alex Bregman and Jose Altuve, because so much of this from the leadership side of the Astros has been about them taking ownership of it, saying we fired our GM, we fired our manager, and it's their fault, and we're taking responsibility and trying to take some of that blame off the players. But people have been intrigued to hear from these players. What was your reaction from what Bregman and Altuve said?
I didn't hear anything. I mean, they didn't say anything. They basically said what happened. So what did happen? When you use the word happen, it sounds like an accident. It doesn't sound like intent. There was a choice. There was a machinery. There was a mechanism. There was a design put in place to basically steal signs using technology against the rules. I mean, it's been proven. It's very straightforward. So I didn't hear anything that indicated that this was anything other than some sort of happenstance. We fell into this. And choices is interesting, because what are those choices? So yes, they might have been limited, but I don't think that advanced the ball in any particular direction in terms of accountability or anything that, contrition. And sure, there could be things in private meetings and all these things, but this has had an impact beyond Houston. That's the point that needs to be underscored. This is not just a Houston issue. This became a credibility issue for the game. This became an integrity issue for the game. Everybody is getting indicted through the game, whether you're innocent or not, because of their decision and their approach to this. So more is going to have to come. The Dodgers are watching this, the teams that they beat using this system. There's pitchers that are concerned about how they tip the scales to favor hitters. I mean, the list goes on. So until they address all these things, it's going to be incomplete, and people will continue to ask questions, and the sort of quote-unquote distraction will not go away.
Yeah, great stuff from Doug Glanville there. The reaction to hearing the Astros speak following this sign-stealing scandal. Of course, the ripple effects continue to go on, and Dusty Baker's in the middle of all this too, as a guy that just came in and all of a sudden is there to try to rehab this whole thing. We're so glad you're watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, make sure you subscribe to ESPN Plus. We'll see you there.